I used to wear jeans to the White House. And, I did. And sneakers. And, Obama used to say to me, nice kicks, BB. B squared. No, not BB. B squared, he called me. Nice kicks.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Bobbi Brown is here.
Yay. Yay. Woo.
You, I know we shouldn't judge by looks, but if we did, you look fabulous. You look like you are happy. You look
like I'm not tired.
I'm not comparing you to any other Bobbi I've known, but you look great. I think you do this. I'm now reversing engines on you.
Yeah.
Bobbi Brown has a way of walking into a room and she can look at you and tell you what you're missing in your life. It used to be like you need more water.
Yeah.
Right.
You drink too much. But now you look at people from a spiritual point of view as well.
Well, I just love people and I care about people. And so I just think it's, there's always things we could do to make ourselves feel better, not just look better, but be better and feel better.
Okay, so, I can take it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're looking at me right now. What am I deficient? What am I deficient in?
I think you look really good. You could use a little moisturizer, little hippie stick.
I did, yeah.
Little hippie stick.
Yeah, little hippie stick. Is there a hippie stick in this box you just gave me from Jones Brown? Jones
Brown.
I think of James Brown and Bobbi Brown and Jones Brown.
Well, that's my dad, by the way, James Brown.
Oh, really?
Ow! Yeah.
So you're James Brown's daughter.
Yes.
Wow.
I feel good. The singer, the
Yeah.
famous soul singer.
Yeah.
No, but I was out late last night. I'm in awful physical shape today.
Yeah. Well, you don't look it.
It was a Sunday funny. Well, thank you.
Yeah, it must be the red jacket.
My red jacket.
It makes you pop.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, look, we got lots to talk about. Let's talk about your book. Still Bobbi, by the way. It's unlike all of our other New York Times bestsellers. It really isn't at all about makeup and making yourself look great and being. This is about you being your authentic self, weathering the storm in business,
and
reinventing
life.
yourself.
Yeah.
In life, having a best friend who's in the cockpit with you, Steve,
Yes.
your husband.
Stephen. Yep.
Where do you want to start?
Well, the reason I wrote this book is not, I've written so many beauty books and I'm known for, natural makeup and confidence and being comfortable in your skin. But I realized I had more to teach. As you guys know, I can't help myself. I really do believe that
can't rest.
I can't. Well, I don't want to rest, but no, I just really believe that it's possible to reinvent yourself at any time. And it's also being resilient of all this stuff that gets thrown at us in life, it's up to you. My dad taught me something really important. If you remember nothing else, you can't always control the situation, but you can control your attitude.
Without doubt.
And it's so true.
We were really becoming good friends back when you were leaving Bobbi Brown.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we were friends before.
We were. But I watched you go through that transition.
You did.
That pivot, that reinvention,
Right.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you actually admitted out loud sometimes, I'm a little lost, but I think I have an idea.
Right.
And then Jones Road comes into play.
Right. At 62 years old.
At 62 years old.
So, I don't see age. Luckily, I don't see as well as I used to. So when I look in the mirror, I'm like, throw some Miracle Balm on, I'm okay. But I also, you guys know I also take care of myself. And if you feel good, you have energy. Mm-hmm. And so,
Well, and still, Bobbi, you actually do get very candid about Estee Lauder.
Right.
And about you, the two of you parting ways.
Well, you'll read the book and I either quit or got fired. Depending which way you look at it. Depending which way you look at it.
But it was one of those business things where it was a little of both.
Well, it was a little of both, but to me, I got fired because they canceled my my work contract and wanted me to be the face of the brand without being involved. And that was not something that would work for me.
No creative input at all.
Right. And honestly, for other people that have either been dumped or fired, it's the best thing once you get over, because then you have an empty notebook to write your new story.
I do have a question about them keeping your name, though. If you can, how does that work? How can you not say, well, that's my name, I'm taking it?
She sold it.
No, because you saw it. So when we sold the company, I knew that. It's, Donna Karan, Calvin Klein, they did, the same thing. They don't own their name. So, they own Bobbi Brown for cosmetics.
It's weird, right?
Wow. It is weird.
It's like when they crap can me from this place, they're still going to call it the Elvis Duran Show.
No way.
Forever.
So, okay. I love the advice you just gave, and this is what you're great at doing as a friend. And I think what this book can serve as for many people who read it is it's Bobbi being your friend. When you're kicked out the door, when you're kicked out of the nest, when you're crap canned from a company, when they fire you, you quit, whatever, it is time to rejoice. It's a new opening.
Right, but you're not rejoicing. You're embarrassed, you're upset,
Were
you're
you really?
sad. Oh, I was, yes. I was.
We didn't look at you like you were some kind of loser. When you
No.
Well,
left
but
there.
I felt like it. You can't help how you feel. So, and I would have emotions that would go all over the place. And, anger, sadness, and then positive things started popping in. And I worked with a friend of mine who's a life coach. And honestly, life coaches are the greatest thing because they don't talk about why your mother did something to you when you were young, but they talked about what you're going through now and how to get over things and how to move forward and what you're
worked.
struggling.
We hear about this concept of life coach.
Yeah.
Here, write down that name and number for me.
Yeah. His
For
name
a
is
friend.
Joe, and you would love him, but he's
Okay.
fantastic. And he's also a yoga instructor, and he's amazing. But it helps you go forward. And by the way, I also have really good friends that I could, get on the phone with, and you were one of them. I would go walking outside, and I would just call people, and they'd say, how you doing? And I remember all those people that did that, called me and said, how you doing?
Well, you were loved because you know what? Before all this happened, you take care of us. You took care of us without even knowing it because that's just your nature. What's up, Gandhi?
No, I just look at Bobbi as a mentor in a lot of ways. I think that you have some really good thoughts and ideas in the way that you've chosen to live your life and lift women up and just kind of rebrand in general is amazing. I love that about you. But I want to know from this life coach what some of the biggest reframes or some of the pieces of advice that he gave you about reframing when you feel like you've completely lost control.
Well, first of all, a lot of the things that he had me do were very tactile. Like, for example, he's like, how you doing? And I'd be talking about it, and I'd say, my house is driving me crazy. Because it was the first time I was really home in 20-something years. My couch was, beat up. The stuffing was coming out. I had piles in a room. He said, all right, let's walk around the house and take a picture of everything that bothers you. I did. He said, send me the pictures. The next week, he came with printouts and a Sharpie. He said, circle what's bothering you. I did. The week after, he came back with solutions. Like, take these pillows to Route 46 here and, do this. And all of a sudden I felt better. I felt more in control and I felt a little peaceful. And then he said, let's look at this couch. That really the couch was a mess. And he said, what happened on this couch?
Why is this couch pissing you off?
Because it was a down couch. I'll never buy a down couch because you always have to fluff it. My kids destroyed it. But he said, tell me about what you did with that couch. I'm like, we watched movies, their friends came over, and he says, shouldn't you love that couch? Because all the good memories. And I got rid of the couch, but I loved it. I felt better.
What about for people? What if people are driving you crazy? Like, what did he say about that?
Well, get new people, right? I mean, it depends who it is. If it's, one of my family members, how do you deal with it?
Yeah.
But, then you realize there are certain people that you don't need in your life. And,
And as you get older, as I've told Gandhi and Danielle and everyone in this room who I'm older than, use these years to start cleaning out the house. Get rid of that couch.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in your friends.
Right. And it happens naturally, too, don't you think?
Yeah, it does. It does. By the way, Bobbi Brown is here. Her book is Still Bobbi, and I want you to read it. It's very motivating. And to hear you also just kind of lay it out there, you talk about your family, you talk about some very personal things. One of the things you talk about is Stephen, your husband, how he is truly your best friend.
Right.
And having that other person in the cockpit when you're flying your plane is so crucial. And you really, really point that out and talk about how much he means to you in this book.
I mean, I'm lucky. It's been 37 years. That's a long time. 37 years. So, is it easy? No. Is it worth the work? 100%.
Right.
I mean, simple. It's just simple. And, we're, we started all the businesses together and, he's with me every step of the way and I'm with him. So, that's good stuff.
Sharing your life with someone is more than just, dating while you're married.
It is. And
best friend.
And I'm starting a new podcast with a friend of mine.
We talked about that a little.
Yeah.
You're starting a podcast?
Yeah, another podcast with a friend of mine. Today we just decided.
You and Nate?
Me and Nate. And it's going to be, by the way, we're going to have guests on the show that think they have the perfect person that Nate should date and marry. But I want to know why. I want their mothers, their next door neighbors, their sisters.
It actually kind of has legs.
It is a great idea.
She does it. And she is, for lack of a better word, my matchmaker.
Yeah.
And she brings in people that think they have the perfect person for
Right.
me. And Bobbi digs into it. Well, why do you think it's the perfect
Well, you know,
person?
if you want to keep it going, you can never date. I mean, you can never never settle down.
Once
No.
he finds someone, she finds someone else.
But
to
then
put in
someone
that
else is
chair.
going to need something.
Yeah.
Right?
Perfect.
Okay.
And by the way, we can even like spin off and do like entrepreneurial. You need a business partner, right?
My
You know,
God.
I'm telling you,
This
Figure
thing
it
has
out.
legs.
yeah. I mean, that's my
matchmaker.
problem. Is I never stop thinking.
You're such a yenta. We love that.
But it's all for the good, right? It's all for the good.
You know, Jones Road, by the way.
Yes.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
Remember
Isn't
that was
crazy?
5 years ago, and you walked in and said, "I got this. It's called Jones Road." I went, "Oh, great! Like, what the hell is Jones Road? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Where is Jones Road?"
I mean, we launched Jones Road. We launched Jones Road the day my 25-year non-compete was up. A week before the presidential election. 5
And here
years
it comes.
ago.
Yep.
And now
here
you've
it
got Danielle. I mean, Gandhi walked by Jones Road in London the other day.
I did, and I took a picture and I sent it to Bobbi because I was like, look at this. And as we were walking by, there were two women standing outside talking about how much they love Jones Road. And I just thought, I wish she could hear this. And then realized technology allows me to share that.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? When you first launched it, we had a conversation and you go, "Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to do brick and mortar again."
Yeah, well.
You did say that.
No, but department store.
Oh,
so
just department
we're in
stores.
one department store.
Okay.
We're in one department store in the UK, and that's Liberty. The rest, we have freestanding stores.
Okay.
So we have 11 right now.
Wow.
And we just signed Nashville. Hopefully it'll be open the end of the year.
That's
May
awesome.
I be
Yeah.
the weekend cashier at the Nashville store?
Where in
Absolutely.
Nashville? By the Gulch?
Where in Nashville? I don't even know. What? 12 South area. And we are looking for people that want to be makeup artists, people that are makeup artists, a manager. So send your resumes to Elvis.
I'm the weekend cashier. I'm in charge now. Hey, okay, let's get back to the book. Still Bobbi.
Yeah.
Great advice in this book about pivoting in life and restructuring the way you think about yourself and others who can be best for you and others you need to get rid of. Let's talk about what you think of your book. I heard that you actually shed a tear when you were reading your book.
I did. When I had to do the voiceover, which I will never listen to because, like most people, I cannot stand listening to my voice. And I cried one time, and it was when I talked about my mother-in-law.
What happened?
You know what? Just that she's not here anymore, and I realized how much I missed her. And someone asked me, I think it was Nate, why? And I said because she was, one of these few people in my life that just never judged me and just loved me for me. And I would go over there and she'd say, "How are you doing?" And I'd complain about something. And she'd say, "Come over here, sit down. Let's have a piece of chocolate."
Aww.
Life is sweet. Have a piece of chocolate. So Ev used to always give me chocolate.
You learn a lot about yourself when you write a book.
Right.
I went through a lot of self self-help with
Right.
myself.
Yeah.
Reading about me.
It's very cathartic.
It's weird.
I loved your book.
Oh, you did?
I loved your book.
I did too. But
I did.
But I loved what I got out of it.
Right.
It's just, but you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's so interesting to be able to read your friends' memoirs and books because you learn things you didn't know about them.
Right.
Right? Because, we don't, when we see each other, like, what are you doing? What's happening? This and that, a little gossip, but we don't talk about, my brother who was homeless or my mother or what happened when I was at Estee Lauder. Oh, we probably talked about that, but
Yeah, a little bit.
Other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want everyone listening to try. Maybe you don't want to sit down and write a book, but journaling and talking about your life and going back and reading it, it truly is a game changer.
It is.
Examining yourself is so important.
And it's a gift, by the way, for your future children or grandchildren, because everyone's got a story. How did you get this job? Right? Like, everyone's got a story.
How'd you get this job?
No, but how did you get this job? Like, seriously.
I called up the radio station. and I pretended I was from a college radio station, and no, I was from a college radio station, and I made up a story how they were stealing CDs from the CD library at college. It was totally fake, but I got somebody on the phone in this building, and they gave me advice, and in giving me advice, they're like, you want to come in for an interview tomorrow? That's how that happened.
Right, and that's chutzpah.
It's called lying.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
No, it's called hustling.
It's called hustling.
Yeah.
It's called
Half truth. The permissible lie, we call it.
Right. I mean, you weren't going to get a phone call. No one was calling you to come in.
I had to make it
Right.
happen.
Right.
I made the call and made up a crazy story.
Right. And everyone's got that story.
Yeah.
And by the way, when I left my company, my phone didn't ring off the hook. I thought everyone's going to call me, say, "Oh, come do this for me. Come do this."
Really? Did
It
you find out
not-
who your friends were?
I definitely found out who my friends were, but I thought there was going to be companies that were going to come to me and say, "Could you fix ours?" You know, and it didn't happen. So literally, I had to go out and start things myself.
See, Bobbi, I liked you much more when you're unemployed. I thought because you took time with conversations. You didn't have a schedule in your head where you had to run here, run there, and then you started getting busier and busier and busier while you're unemployed because you were building this new Bobbi Brown.
Well, old Bobbi Brown. No, I'm building Jones Road, which was a very different thing.
Bobbi Brown isn't the person.
Oh, yes. I mean, I know it gets
It's okay to
confusing.
use your name when talking
I
about you,
know.
right? There's no lawsuits.
No. And I know it gets confusing. So, all I know is I'm so passionate about Jones Road. It's been the most fun I've ever had.
Why? Why is this the most fun?
It's a lifetime of experience, both entrepreneurial and beauty distilled into something new. So it's beautiful formulas, really fun packaging, and I'm just thrilled
It's
that
your
people
show.
love it. It's my show, and the only guys I have to argue with and fight are my husband and my son. But so I have a lot of experience working with men.
You can take them.
I could take them. The trick is just let them think they win. That is the trick.
That's nice.
And so I'm leaving some of the holiday gifts here because if I don't mention that, our holiday and that everything is on sale now through December 1st. So there's some our first ever site-wide sale. And I never promote the stuff, but people love bargains.
Oh, absolutely. And you should
and
promote.
especially
Yeah.
for the holidays.
You should
Yes.
promote it.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
love the rebrand and the rebuild that you did because we talk about this all the time. Everybody thinks that success is this straight sort of climb up a mountain, that you're just going to keep making little advances and eventually you'll get there, not realizing that there's wind that knocks you off all the time. And sometimes you have to take a few steps back and you could be at the top of the mountain and still fall off and need to get back up and do it. And I love that you have showed us how to do that in an authentic way because one of my favorite things is you say you're not supposed to be someone else. You just
Right.
need to hone who you are.
Right. I can't be this other person. I realize that, so I might as well just be myself and, not everyone likes it, but it's my comfort area.
And what's
right?
that line? You can't be someone else. Everyone
It's
else
taken.
is taken.
Everyone else is taken.
For sure.
But being authentic.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
Because
In a
this is-
world of inauthenticity, too.
Exactly. And in this, Gandhi and everyone, this is just an important thing for anyone, anywhere in this world, being yourself
Right.
and not being, controlled by strings, a puppet.
Well, I think all of us, at some point in our life, we try to be something we think we should be. I tried to be a corporate person, with the briefcase. I tried to do all these different things, and I realized I can't. It was just uncomfortable for me. So, I started doing things like wearing jeans to events and not uncomfortable clothes. No one said, "Oh, yeah, you're allowed to wear jeans." I used to wear jeans to the White House. And, I did. And sneakers. And, Obama used to say to me, "Nice kicks, BB." Be squared. No, not BB. Be squared, he called me. Nice kicks. I'm like, yeah, and I'm 5 foot tall, and my neck hurts looking up at you, but this is who I am. I'm
That's
not gonna.
one of the first things I think of when I think of you too. Is Bobbi will have cute sneakers on.
Yeah.
I always think of that.
Oh no! Today I have these Gucci clogs. on.
Oh, Gucci clogs.
Okay, hello.
You could kick some balls with those.
Have you always been the less is more person, or did that take time?
Well, I'm trying to be less is more. I have a big giant LL Bean bag that says give. And so I'm always trying to clean out my closet, and I just throw all the stuff I don't want in this give bag, and then I give it away. And then I think, oh, I'm so nice. And then the doorbell rings and Quince comes and there's 2 sweaters that I, looked so good online. I'm like, oh, now I got more stuff to put in my closet.
Yeah.
But what about the less is more concept with makeup and like with, beauty and all that stuff?
Well, less is more, but the right amount is the right amount. Less,
Okay.
like to me, makeup isn't about not putting hardly there. It's about doing what you need to do. What can I do so I look less tired, I look prettier, I look not washed out? And, there's times where you don't have good beauty days. And then you just at least I know what to do. I could throw on some Miracle Balm and some, under eye pencils.
Is that your last minute party trick?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You go into a party, look good.
Oh, yeah. I do a
Beauty balm.
black gel liner. I do a little sparkle wash on my eyes. And I do extra blush and put Miracle Balm on top and probably a lip gloss on my way in. And that's
Look at that.
it.
She's ready for the
There you
party.
go.
I'm ready for the party.
So less is more. Let's apply that to everyday life.
Right. And by the way, when it comes to parties, I want to be invited, but I don't really want to go.
I'm the same way.
I know you are. That's why I
I know.
said that.
We always say instead of having FOMO, we get what is
I'm
it called?
homo.
Yeah.
Homo, yeah.
What is it? Homo?
Happiness of missing out.
Yeah, happiness of missing
Yeah.
out. I've got
I
homo.
know, I
I'm a homo.
I know. Like, thank God I didn't get
You'll
invited
never
to
be at
that
home
thing.
on your uncomfortable couch. But okay, let's apply less is more to everyday life.
Right.
Not makeup.
Simplicity.
Simplicity.
I'm kind of turning into Steve Jobs because I wear.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yes, but
That's
his,
not good.
Yeah, so don't turn into him.
But his philosophy.
You smell good for a dead woman.
His philosophy of, having a wardrobe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think a lot. I know what T-shirts I like. I have a bunch of them. I don't have 25 different black ones. I have kind of the same black ones, the same white ones, because I kind of figured out what my wardrobe is. It just makes it easier.
Less is more, as in friends.
Yes.
Less friends, but the ones you have are
Yep.
more.
You know what? There's different tiers of friends, right? I have my original friends, my older friends. I have newer friends, and I have people I want to be friends. So I think they're all important for different reasons. And my husband and I decided we want younger friends.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
So I told
He
him,
likes them young, huh?
Yeah, well, no, we're gonna buy really short couches, and if you can't get off of them,
Oh my God!
it was a joke.
Well, don't invite
Just
Nate
kidding.
over then.
So your house is not wheelchair accessible for me? Okay, fine.
No, I bet you could get up off the floor.
I can.
Yeah, I've seen you on the floor a few times.
Yes, you have.
Wait, do you and your husband ever disagree on a friend? One of you really likes them and the other one's like, I don't really know about that.
No, but we have different kind of friends. Like he has a lot of golf club friends, and
The kind of icky golf
No,
boys.
and I have a lot of like founder friends.
okay.
Founder friends. So we like each other's friends. We do. And can I tell you something? As different as everyone is, everyone's actually really nice and okay and interesting. Once you don't just like think what they'll be like, and you actually find out what they're like.
Why do we wait so late in life to take charge of our lives? Why do we wait until we're crap canned from a big corporation? Why don't we just do this on our own? Why are we not motivated by the things that should motivate us, and we have to be forced into becoming really fabulous people?
Because I think we are on a treadmill and we get really busy, and we're commuting, and we're some of us are having kids and you're just busy, and then you don't realize that it's been all these years and this is who you are. And sometimes you're lucky enough to get a reboot, but you don't have to leave your job to get a reboot. You could reboot yourself right now. Like, what one thing would you want to change if you could?
My job.
No, will you
I'm sorry. Did my word bubble just talk out loud?
All right. Where's my friend Rich
Yeah,
Bressler?
think about the question Bobby just asked. What is something in your life that you want to change right now? It seems like it's as simple. Just change it then.
Well, what is it? Like, what could it be? Like, seriously. I'd love to figure out how to do less, and I don't know how. Seriously.
Then don't fight it. It's like if you can't go to sleep at night, don't
Right.
fight it. Stay awake. If you
Right.
can't do less, then stop fighting it.
Right.
It's who you are.
It's your attitude.
You're
more than
wired to be
anything.
a machine
Yeah.
that you are.
Yeah, and by the way, I love taking my garbage out, and because it's like a physical exercise, and I could do it. I love taking my suitcase, off of the top rack in the airport, because I don't want to wait for someone to do it for me. I want to do it. So, that keeps me strong.
Right. You're a control freak.
I don't know if I'm a control freak. I want to be independent. I want to be independent.
See, these are life's lessons.
Yeah.
And you can read a lot of this in the book, because every story you tell is either coming from a place of vulnerability or, oh my God, I figured myself out. This is kind of cool. I want to share this with you. You really take us on a nice little journey.
Oh,
in
thank
this
you.
book.
It's a very, very simple read, I have to say. It's kind of like me, direct to the point. The stories, they don't go on. I don't talk about like what I was wearing and, because some memoirs just kind of go all over the place. It's pretty much to the point.
Okay, final questions for Bobbi.
Yeah.
Gandhi, go.
Okay, Bobbi, have you ever jumped out of an airplane?
Absolutely
reason.
not, and have no desire to. And my kids have, and that pisses me off.
Okay, because I think that there's something like that totally goes with this conversation and what we're talking about. And I know you're not a control freak, but there's something really beautiful and freeing in the moment that you jump out of a plane, knowing right now there's nothing I can do. I just have to go with this. The wind is going to take me where it takes me, and it might go terribly, probably won't, but I think it's such a freeing feeling, and I just wish everyone would do it.
But what I did do is hop on stage with Flo Rida when he called my name, and that was like jumping out of a plane because it's like I have 1 second to decide if I'm going to do this, and I did it.
See, there you go.
I did it, and
You have
I
to
also
trust the universe.
And then when Salt and Pepper called me up, I jumped. I jumped on that stage too.
Were you the new Spinderella?
I was Sugar. So yeah.
Excellent question, Danielle.
So you've done, in my book, almost everything. Is there still something that you want to tackle that you haven't done yet?
Yes, but I don't know what it is, and that's what's so exciting about
So
it.
you need to
okay.
discover that.
No,
but
I
your
don't
your
I'm
mind
open.
is, Danielle, do you think her mind is open enough to tackle anything?
Oh, yes. Anything you
Yeah.
put your mind to, it'll be good.
I love when things don't work out because I know there's a solution.
Yeah.
I do. And sometimes the solution is just saying, "Oh well, it didn't work," but I know there's a solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question, final question, is, and back to the book, still.
Is when are we going out for dinner?
I'm
That's
ready.
my final question.
You're buying, by the way. This book is
Okay.
selling. In the book, Still Bobbi, people come up to you and say, you know what? I read your book. I have to say, you really changed something in me. How does that make you feel? Talk about that.
It's really everything. There was a woman in the UK that came up to me. She was this beautiful woman. She said, I just lost whatever political seat she had. I'd been there for 13 years. I couldn't get out of bed. I read your book, and now I'm so excited about what the future holds, and I don't even know what it is. Like, things like that make me
Wow.
happy.
Wait, repeat that line. I'm excited about.
The future, even though I don't know what it holds.
That's jumping out of a plane right there.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the future, even though I really have no freaking clue what it's going to
Oh,
be.
I don't think that's jumping out. Jumping out of a plane is scary and stupid. It's like getting on a motorcycle.
You sound like my mom.
It's
When
like getting on a motorcycle.
I bungee jumped, and my mom, I came home, and this is before I had kids. My mom's like, you know what you just did? You ruined your insides. You're never going to be able to have
You're
children
not
because you
fertile.
bungee jumped. I'm like, what? No. That's what you would say. Same
Yeah.
thing.
No, but I'm not
Statistically,
bungee jumping.
is very safe.
Bungee jumping, I was going to say, that's not as bad. I'm not interested in bungee jumping. Hip hop dancing, yes. Bungee jumping, no.
This has been awesome, Bobbi. Bobbi Brown, of course, Still Bobbi is out right now. I really want you to grab a copy for you, and I want you to buy 2 copies. This is the greatest gift ever. You give the other one to someone in your life who needs to read exactly what we've been talking about. And the other gift idea we had the other day, this is the best way to give a book gift. Read it and highlight your favorite parts, and then give that
Yes.
as a gift. A highlighted book is a great gift because people know what you got turned on by in the Bobbi Brown book.
I did a radio show in the UK. I told him he was the Elvis of the UK. He didn't know what I was talking about,
wow.
but this
That's
guy
okay.
Chris Evans, I think his name was.
Well, I'm the Chris Evans of the United States.
Yeah, you would get along with him. He's a UK version of you. But he had my entire book torn out with writing and pencil. I wanted it.
What
Like,
an
he
honor.
literally- I thought it was so cool.
They ripped the hell out of your book.
Yeah,
Yes.
he did.
I want more of
No,
that,
he
please.
wanted his son to read it, and he wanted his son to see where he underlined things. I thought that was really cool.
That's cool. Still Bobbi, buy it today. Bobbi Brown, we love you.
Thank you.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.